How do you celebrate Christmas? Most of us have traditions, some of which have been handed down from our parents, grandparents, and even great-grandparents. Our traditions generally include a tree, stockings, and Santa Claus. In this way, we aren't so different from those who lived 150 years ago, but the differences are fun to explore. Did you know that in Victorian times, red and green were not the colors of Christmas? People used pastels in their decorations and Christmas cards. There wasn't a Walmart or Hallmark store to purchase Christmas supplies, so people had to be creative and make their own. This often required them to plan ahead, harvesting and drying items from nature to use on their trees. For instance, hydrangeas are beautiful when in bloom, but they have a different kind of beauty when dried. People would dry them and put them on the tree. Pampas grass or other decorative grasses were also allowed to dry, then were set aside until the holiday. Feathers were gathered, often from the barnyard. Peacocks and other showy birds weren't real common, but this feather from a guinea fowl is pretty in its own way and easily gathered from the yard, if you have guinea fowl. Slicing up an orange to hang it on the tree seems awful messy, but they are attractive and smell wonderful. When they have been hanging for a while, they dry and become almost translucent. Hedge apples or Osage oranges aren't safe to eat, but they are fantastic for keeping spiders out of your house. They also make attractive ornaments when sliced and hung up, the same way as an orange. Dried pea pods, certain leaves which hold their autumn colors, acorns, and pine cones were also used. Most of us have at least heard of stringing cranberries and popcorn to make garland. This Victorian lady is sitting by the window and soaking up a bit of the sun's heat while she prepares for her family's Christmas celebration by stringing the cranberries and garland together. Some families preferred to string them separately. This is an activity that children particularly enjoy doing during Victorian Christmas traditions. 10 years ago, the first Victorian Christmas Traditions program was hosted by Willard Library under the direction of Lynn Martin, then the Special Collections librarian. This event started fairly small in the Regional and Family History Center on the second floor. A wonderful group of people who enjoy wearing period dress and reenacting scenes from the past came every year to put this program on for us. This group would bring most of the decorations with them and work to prepare them beforehand. The oranges would be sliced, the popcorn popped, and everything laid out on tables. They would teach us about the traditions of the past, and then everybody worked together to decorate the tree. Volunteers manned the tables and assisted attendees. The children especially needed assistance as they were using needles and thread in order to string the popcorn and cranberries. As the program grew more popular, it was moved to the Browning Gallery so more people could be accommodated. Attendance has doubled since the inception of this program, and it has become part of many families' Christmas tradition. We wish we could hold it this year, but since we can't, it is our sincerest wish that this video helps fill the gap. What Christmas gathering would be complete without food? Christmas dinner was often an elaborate and extravagant affair with more than one type of meat, as well as a multitude of side dish options. Goose, pheasant, quail, boiled ham, and oysters were all popular options. Lima beans, celery, cream of artichokes, potatoes prepared in many ways, sweet potato pudding, and many other dishes made up the sides. The best part of Christmas dinner is, of course, the dessert. For a while, the desserts served at Victorian Christmas were homemade goodies taken from old recipes. However, being part of the modern world eventually caught up with us, and we switched to purchasing them. We did, however, continue with sweets that were popular in the Victorian era. Over the years, we have served sugar cookies, gingerbread men, cakes, fruits, tarts, and sweetbreads. Pictured here is a bread pudding, a dish which is not quite as common as it used to be. I also found these lavender cookies to be interesting, though I'm not sure how popular these would be today. Live music has always been a part of our tradition, though we have moved from strings to horns over the past few years. It might be fun to have both someday. Any discussion of Christmas must include Father Christmas. We love having the kids come early to have their pictures taken with Father Christmas and Krampus. In the Victorian era, it was believed that they traveled together, with Father Christmas bringing gifts to the good children, while Krampus brought sticks and coal to the bad ones. If you were really bad, Krampus would beat you with his sticks, and if you were really, really bad, he might even drag you to hell. This might explain why we don't include him in our celebrations today. Our Krampus isn't quite so scary, and his sticks have candy tied to the ends. Free photo ops and gifts are both family favorites. Thank you for joining us for this year's Victorian Christmas Traditions Remembered. I sincerely hope we get to see each and every one of you next year for a live presentation of Victorian Christmas traditions.